This is the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
Special guest, the one and only Claire Hooper in the house. Hoops.
I have just rapidly learned a new game and I can't wait to play.
Yes, we are going to be
This
playing
is so exciting.
shortly.
So good at it. As you can see, Claire Hooper, we are undergoing renovations here at Nova 937.
I know, it's so exciting. I am also undergoing
I know.
renovations.
So what are you doing to your house? What's
Mate, it's so amazing. Look, we're basically just bringing all the bad karma onto ourselves because that's what happens when you
You
Because you're
do.
like, you know what? It's a cliche that everything goes wrong, so surely that won't happen to me. But yes, it did. It's been a nightmare. And the really weird thing is we're so desperate to impress our builder that we act super cool because we don't want him to, you know,
Be
we
cool
want him
about,
to.
oh, yeah, we get it.
We want him to like us so he doesn't build hate rubbish into the walls.
Sure.
So every time he gives us bad news, it's just like,
that's fine.
hey, we found a 40-centimetre concrete slab in the subfloor. And we're like, cool, that's cool, great. Thanks for help. Or
Tell me
he'll be
more
like,
about
there are
concrete.
missing rafters. And I'm like, yeah, there's champagne. Wait, let's celebrate. Like, it's this tragic game of trying to pretend you're so fine
Why,
with
why are
how
you getting upset over
badly
it?
it's going. What's that?
Why aren't you getting upset? Because most people, I would.
she's
I'd
trying to
get
be
in
cool
the-
about it.
calming-
There's
she's
cool,
calming
but
the
there's gotta
shit.
be a
I'm trying to
point.
be the coolest customer, so my builder thinks I'm great and builds a slightly better houses. I don't know
and
what
finishes.
It's psychotic behaviour.
It's
but
like
yeah,
when
it's
you're on your
really
best behaviour and you get into an Uber because you want to win your 5
Yes.
stars.
one
It's exactly
and
what it
also
is.
get home safely.
Yes.
Yes.
So what's
Male
the,
privilege.
women's
Thank
point
you.
of view.
what's the scope? So are we doing kitchen, bathroom?
Oh,
Are we extending,
so of
putting an extra
course.
story on? What have we done?
Of course, I love that you dig down on the details. And what it is it's the back end of the house. It's just that old style house where every single room looks out onto a corrugated fence on the side,
yes.
and not one single window looked onto the backyard. Not one. It was like a storeroom and a bathroom.
Doing back there.
Yes. So there's this lovely 50-year-old apple tree in the middle of the backyard. And
No
so
one's ever seen it.
Nobody's ever seen it. So we've just, basically, it was honestly just using the footprint of the house, carve it out, flip the rooms. But there was we found a lot wrong. Some cowboy built this house.
God.
So, and very quickly it became everything's gone. Like you get to the end of the hallway, it's a mud pit and you can see the sky.
Really?
Like everything
Wow.
went. It really escalated,
So you're doing that
guys.
you're doing that thing that they do on the blocks. You're keeping the character of the home and then sort of doing a bit of a modern twist
which
at the
is
back.
funny. If you saw the character of the home, you'd be like, I don't like that character.
What character?
Why did you want this character? Because it was half as expensive as doing the whole character.
Yeah,
Do you know what
sure.
I mean?
Yeah,
like
no,
we couldn't afford a complete character facelift.
Can't, you can
that's
just
the
afford
one
to get
thing-
her eyes done.
Once they started and they find stuff, they come back to you and they say, "Hey, Claire, this is what's happened here. We found this problem." All that means is this is going to cost you more.
Budget blowout. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Have you asked the
hence-
question of the builder, will we be in by Christmas?
Yeah. Do you know, he's actually really proud. Look, this is the one good thing. His name's Rob. It's short for daylight robbery. It's not. He's really lovely. We love him so much.
Yeah.
Please don't.
God, you're cool.
Please don't put bodies under the floorboards. He is at least really good at keeping on time. Like his last
great.
project, despite problems, finished on the day he said it would.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
we're
amazing.
like,
Yeah, but there's always a person that will go, "Oh, we got this builder and he's never been a day late," and then you're the example
And
of that.
then you're
it's
the-
all
yeah.
possibilities.
Yeah.
So
Thanks, mate.
knowing that and knowing the fact that your time at your mum's granny flat is
Yeah, that's right.
coming to an end, what are we doing in the rental crisis when we get back?
All right, because isn't it? I mean, it is a good time, isn't it? There is a bit of a rental crisis. Sorry, you don't
Yes.
have anywhere to live. Well,
Both
we
here
we
and
do,
in
but
Melbourne.
it's not good enough.
Yes.
Okay, so I had a lovely man drive me to the airport twice in a row because, I fly a lot for work. I'm glamorous
Yes,
and fabulous.
you are.
Yeah.
And the first week he drove, I can't believe this is so problematic. The first week he was like, yeah, I moved my mum out of her Mooney Prawns property. She's living with me now. Second week, he's talking about it again. I was like, so what you gonna do with the Mooney Prawns property? He's like, yeah, we probably won't sell it.
That vacant property. What is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, what are you going to do? And he's like, yeah, it's still full of all her furniture. I'm like, oh, really? Well, then don't bother cleaning that out. Anyway, the point is I've got a handshake deal with Maz, a cashy.
The guy that drives
To stay
into the
in
I
airport.
am crossing my fingers so hard because you don't know.
How far away does he live from the property? Like, is he next door or is he?
No, he's not that close.
Okay, good.
He's a really good guy,
He
but you
is.
still don't know if his mum might come around for cups of tea
Yeah,
every day.
I mean, that's okay.
Not the end of the world. It's a comedy show, isn't it?
Yes, I mean,
I've
it's
accidentally
all-
written a new
it's
comedy
all
show.
content.
I really do hope something terrible happens.
No, well, you've already wished me dead this morning.
No, I haven't. I'm the one that's solving a murder, actually, if you rewind
Thank you
it.
so much. It was so kind of you to keep that
Thank you
VHS
so much.
player.
Well, I don't want you
That
to
cracked
go
the
missing.
case.
You deserve to live. You're a funny lady.
This is the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
Nathan, Nat and Sean, except that Nathan and Sean are a little bit busy at the moment. It's fun. Just me and Hoops shooting the breeze.
Oh, my God.
Claire Hooper. We'll turn
Thank
the mic
goodness we've got rid of those.
Finally, the
dead
girls get a
ones.
turn. Now, talk to us about your show that you're doing here.
Well, I've called it So Proud.
Yeah, right.
That's, I don't know if you can tell by knowing me, that's a little bit sarcastic.
Yeah.
Look, here's the thing. I guess I've been going through the thrill of having 7 and 9-year-old children, which is I mean, it's actually a great period, but there's an awful lot of concerts. And I think that when I was a kid, I thought concerts were good. And now that I'm a grown-up, I'm like on the bad side of concerts. Now I just have to watch them, and they are awful.
So it's much better to be in one than to be looking at
I
one.
never realised the difference. Being in, fun. But watching, no good.
Because the thing about them is that your kid's in a tiny bit. And then you have to sit through watching everyone else's kids. You're not allowed to just get up and leave.
Just leave. Like, wouldn't it be great if we could all just agree we're not interested in other people's kids?
Yes.
And just like high five each other as we
Yes.
walk down the aisle and swap
Yes.
seats? Like, why can't we just do it that way?
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Yeah,
Hi,
the boys
guys.
back
We're
in
just
the
in the
garden.
recording booth, just laying down a track.
So
Oh my
Hoops
God.
is
Womack.
talking to us about the pain of children's concerts
Honestly.
and dance concerts.
Can I talk to you about
Let's do it.
dance concerts?
Yes, please.
Here's my experience this year. Never been to one, but 2023 at the end
Yes.
of it, the Dockers were playing a game, and I walked into this auditorium,
This
and
doesn't
anyway,
sound
it
like
was
a story of a dance concert.
it was full, and my daughter said that she is in a couple of parts, and these parts were over within, I would say, the first 5 minutes. This dance concert went for 2 hours. I was sitting in the back row trying to watch my phone to keep up with the scores, and it was mind-numbing, particularly when your daughter, who's done her stuff, is done, and you got to stick around because you're not allowed to get out
Exactly.
of
This
what
is
we were
what
just
we were just
talking
saying.
about.
We're like,
Sorry,
you know,
Hoops.
it would just be great if we could all agree we don't give a shit about
We
other
don't.
people's kids.
No.
You
They're
don't.
sure
Just-
they're very talented.
They are talented.
But let's move on.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
you should be
I
allowed
mean,
to just get up and leave once your kid's performed?
It's for the kids, isn't it? It's so that the kids think everybody wants to watch. So we're all just, because this is the thing at a school concert or a dance concert, the best performances are from the parents pretending
Yeah.
that they're happy to be there and going like, I'm so proud.
better
But
be
you don't
wine
say who
at the
you're
end of
proud
this.
of. I'm proud of myself for not turning over the the concession stand. But here's the thing. Our school had a 3-hour concert, no bar.
Oh,
No bar.
Are
Why
you
even
joking?
have an interval? Like, can
Yeah.
you please just charge us $50 a drink?
That's when you
and
need
make
those
a decent
handbag
bit
Could
of
they
money.
not even like have a sneaky little like speakeasy outside of the canteen where they're whacking
Yeah.
some
Someone's
Kahlua and
car
some
boot.
choc milk?
Such a curious choice.
Wow.
It's so honestly, like just no, not even a cup of tea, not a packet of
do your
chips.
kids
Take
go
a
to
drink.
some sort of religious extremist school where
No,
they...
it was just an oversight. It was bless them. It was the first time
Also,
they'd
it's a
put
money
on
maker.
a school.
Come on.
It is a money maker.
Sorry,
A
fundraiser.
fundraising opportunity.
Claire, can I add to those school events that you go to? And again, last year, right? So you go along to end of year nights and people are getting awards, and we can go through the awards. We can do it quickly.
Yes.
Yep.
But everyone wants to stop down and clap every individual.
And
When
take
you're
a
doing 80
photo of
awards in
every
each year group,
individual.
we're going to be there for 5 hours.
Yes.
And okay, we can get that through that. But why do we have to see 1 million performances every 15 minutes? Oh, we've got the choir back on to sing another song.
No, don't
Can
get
we
it
just
back
get on with it and get out of
We've
there?
seen the choir.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's just as good as it was last
But then,
time.
you know what? One of my proudest things, I remember
in
when
the choir?
when I was cast as the lead in my school Christmas pageant as the Purple People Eater.
You know,
And
from the Nativity.
you know the Purple People Eater song?
Yeah, I know the Purple People
Yeah, and I mean, and your parents look at you so proud, but in reality, there was a kid wearing purple tights, a purple singlet, and had an ice cream container on his head with an eye drawn on it and a horn coming out.
And the clues were there early, weren't they?
Well, they were. And
But is this a beautiful thing that we all pretend it's great? Or would it have actually helped you put your life on a better path if at that time your parents had said,
Don't be
that
ridiculous."
wasn't great?
well,
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
does it-
Yes.
Is it nice that our parents are kind to us? when we're
In
little?
fact, I don't think our parents were as kind to us as parents are to their children these days. Because back in the
yeah.
day, if you were crap, your parents told you were crap.
Yeah. Well, my dad never went to anything. So he never went. He's a farmer. He was farming. He never went to a school assembly, an awards thing. He went to nothing. And netball games, nothing.
Yeah.
And it's
No,
fine.
Henry
It was
didn't.
fine.
I don't think
To
Brian
be
would have gone to
fair-
school
No,
events.
Dad
Yeah.
was always out on the train.
And now
working on
dads
the
have to
train.
go. You have
Dads
to go
have
to
to go.
dance
Yeah,
concerts.
Yeah, you have to.
But they could get to sit on their phone up the back, don't they?
It's pretty disgusting
time.
now.
We love that
Fathers
game
these
too.
days
It's
are
full on.
supposed to help parent. It's disgusting.
Oh, no, it's crazy.
it's gross.
It's crazy.
Back in the day, I mean, like I saw my dad 3 times before I was 18.
It's the Nathan, Nat, and Sean podcast.
Our mate, comedian Claire Hooper was in yesterday, and
Yep.
she was talking to us about how she's undergoing renovations at the moment.
Yep.
And then she said something, and we were like, "Does this really happen?" So have a listen.
We're so desperate to impress our builder that we act super cool because we don't want him to,
Be
we
cool
want
about
him to.
Oh, yeah, we get it.
We want him to like us so he doesn't build hate rubbish into the walls.
Sure.
So every time he gives us bad news, it's just
Like,
like,
oh, that's fine.
hey, we found a 40 centimetre concrete slab in the subfloor. And we're like, cool, that's cool, great. Please don't put bodies under the floorboards.
Yeah, and it's interesting,
Yes.
isn't it? Because Claire was suggesting that it could be common practice that if you do have a stoush with a builder, the day they're putting in your wall insulation
right.
could also be the day that they put in a couple of powerful egg sandwiches.
Right.
That over time
Yes.
will cause a problem.
When you're dealing with the bigger builders in Perth, and they're the ones who they don't do the work necessarily on the house. The trade's the one you need to suck up.
Yeah,
suck
no,
up with.
she's,
So
got-
you-
she's talking to the guy that's doing
Yes.
the work. That's what she's
but
talking about.
it's the builder. He's going to have all those trades, so you need to be really sucking up to them. They're the ones you really need to look
Do you
after.
remember the?
I would say be nice to everyone.
Yeah, but
that's
sometimes the
lovely.
situation
That's so
doesn't
lovely.
warrant niceness. Sometimes
No.
you have to have an argument, and then
Yeah.
are you gonna get punished because of that? Remember when they were building the tunnel, the Polypharma tunnel? Did you hear the rumor that was going on? It was rife at the time that apparently because there was some stop work stuff that was happening
Yeah.
during that time. And the workers were getting upset about something. So there was a rumour going around that one of the workers, it's so fake when you think of it, threw their helmet into some wet concrete. And that was going to stuff up the structural integrity of one of the panels in the wall.
And the whole thing's going to collapse at any time.
And I went, I don't know.
So you don't want to drive
someone
through-
that's upset
Well, there was the.
would risk a tunnel collapse.
I know.
Yeah, no, that's
If that was really what would happen.
Yeah, but they never drive through it. Man. There was that, the massive Taj Mahal that was being built in Dalkeith.
Yep.
And the from that Indian billionaire couple that went bust, and then the whole thing sat there for
Yeah,
ages.
fertiliser
unfinished.
plant.
Yeah, that's right. So apparently the story was that they were the wife rabid vegetarian. So she had vegetarian, vegan restaurants all around.
A rabbit vegetarian.
Rabid.
I like that.
She had vegetarian restaurants around the world and in London and stuff, and she banned any of the workers from eating meat
Oh, yeah, I
on
remember
site.
that.
Oh,
I remember
yeah.
that, I remember
And
Yeah.
then apparently they would put meat mix it into the concrete. So that then it was because she was so mean to them that and trying to control them. It's like we can have a bologna sandwich. Settle down,
The
lady.
first person who decided to do that to the mixer
I
and
know.
chuck I don't know,
Bit
leg of
mint-
ham
bit
in there or
mince.
something.
You think it'd be mince would be the best,
Yes.
wouldn't it?
Oh, that'd be good. That would be the funniest day.
I know. Yeah, when you're flicking
On site
bologna in
ever.
there for sure. It's
Yeah,
so
and-
good.
until you've laid the
I don't-
concrete, and then overnight, just a sausage just comes
Yes,
up.
exactly.
It's just a sausage. It looks like
Just
the ground's got a
floats to the
stiffy.
Now, I don't know if it's true. Perhaps somebody who worked on that site can tell us, but
Yep.
I like to think it's true.
It's the overconversation, which I just love. I think
Oh,
it is
yes.
so funny.
So being super nice to
Whenever
somebody.
I have gotten a trade or people to come and do something physical for me, so like say moving house, I've moved place
Yep.
a few times, and this is ridiculous. I pay the top quality. I'll go for the top
Yes.
removal companies because I want to do nothing.
Yeah, that's right. Stand back and just drive to the new place and wait for your stuff to be delivered.
Every time I have paid for this top class service, I am trying to win them over. And I end up moving my furniture with them. It is insane. And
So
as
you're
I'm going
physically lifting
upstairs
things.
with a fridge, I'm going, what am I doing?
Exactly.
That's what you're
carrying
paying
that
top
piano
dollar
every
for.
time is very
I've
difficult.
got to get rid of it. I've got to get rid of that grandmaster. It just, and you know what? It doesn't warrant the space when all I can play is chopsticks.
We are talking about the concept of overcompensating to tradies and people that are doing services for you. Like you're super nice to them
Yep.
so that they don't get revenge on you.
Yes, and that's the thing that Claire Hooper was talking about yesterday on the show. She was worried about hate trash being put in the walls because she thinks that if tradies are displeased with you, they put things in your walls that will later on smell. So if there's a tradie out there that can confirm or deny that happens,
It might not just be the smell, it might just be
10.
bad juju as well.
Maybe just be, yeah.
Sue's in Frio, hello.
Good morning.
Hey, Sue.
What have you got for us?
We built a house about 10 years ago. Every morning I'd take morning tea, smoko for my tradies. And if the tradies were there for the whole week, they'd get a 6-pack on the Friday afternoon.
Yeah,
It
that's
adds
good.
a bit to the cost of their bill, doesn't it?
I always used to think when we were bringing the Terps around that how these bastards going to drive home.
So as Nat said there, Sue, there is a cost, but do the benefits outweigh the cost, what you get back in return?
I think so. We actually had some of the tradies turn up on the weekend just to finish the job.
That's
Yeah,
nice.
so this is the thing, isn't it?
And the builder actually gave us access to start putting in like the lawn and the backyard garden and stuff.
Yeah.
So when we did move in, it wasn't just a sandpit.
Oh, that's good.
I reckon it.
It paid.
Yes,
You know what
it
it
paves
is?
the way.
If I was a tradie, right, I would get really excited if the person's house that I was working on, if they walked out with a tray of sandwiches.
Yeah.
Just imagine that tray of sandwiches. So
It's
we've got
just
some
the
egg,
simple
we've got some
things,
ham,
isn't
we've
it?
got some, you know what I mean? Because when someone just gives you a sandwich you haven't made by yourself, isn't it great?
You do love a sandwich.
I love a sandwich.
Do, yeah, more than most.
Thanks, Sue. Great chat, everyone. Lawrence is in Balcatta. Hello.
Good morning. How are we doing?
Good,
What
now,
we're doing,
Lawrence.
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 You've got the tradie side of this. We're very intrigued to talk to you. What have you got for us?
Yeah. So I did. As you can tell by my accent, I'm from Dublin, Ireland. So I did my apprenticeship there,
Yeah.
and I remember going to a house. It's a rich suburb in Dublin, and the lady was a nightmare, like from start to finish. What time are you getting here? Wipe your feet. I said to her, "Can I use your toilet?" She goes, "Absolutely not. You can go down to the pub." Oh yeah, she was.
Yeah.
But were you planning on laying some cable in the toilet or what?
No, I was going to check the plumbing because I was a plumber.
Yes.
Right, so she sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was. She was a bleeding nightmare. So, long story short, my boss says to me on the last day, he goes, just pack everything up, put it into the van. And I says, yeah, no dramas. So I did that, and 5 minutes later he comes into the van and, we're driving down the road and he's just laughing, just giggling to himself like a little child. And I was like, what are you laughing at? And he goes, I got her goods. And I was like, what did you do? And he goes, look down at me feet. And I was like, okay. So we pulled up the legs of his trousers.
Yeah.
And he'd one sock on. And I was like, where's your other sock? He goes, I had to wipe my arse some way.
And then what did you do with it? Where did he put it?
It's just in the dunny.
The sock go.
No, he went up into the attic to do it, left it there, so it'll be nice and fermented, and she wouldn't know where the smell was coming from.
Oh, hey, that's good.
See, be nice to your tradies. There's the lesson there.
Absolutely.
Don't
yeah.
be a
And
nightmare.
he just didn't. No, don't be. Yeah. There you go.
You know,
Lawrence, it's
We can
a
do whatever we
cautionary
like.
tale.
You
Exactly.
can do whatever
And
you
did.
like.
And did.
You can do
And
whatever you
did.
like.
Yeah.
Backing one out on the roof
Yeah.
there, Nath.
Wow.
Thank you, Lawrence.
I wouldn't
It's an eye-opener.
have just put it in the attic though. I would have put it in the air conditioning.
Right, I get it.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
Dublin, though. They mightn't have
They
had
might
it.
not.
Yeah,
Or the heating, that would have really-
Yeah, the heating would have really
the
put it on.
heating.
That's nasty.
Anyway, that's why Lawrence had to leave Ireland.
Yeah, clearly.
Ruby's in East Frio. Morning, Rubes.
Morning.
Hey, Ruby.
Okay, Ruby. What have you got for us?
So it's not a tradie, but my grandma actually cooks sweets and treats for all of her doctors. So whenever she goes for an appointment, she takes a little tray of goodies
Smart.
with her.
Smart,
That
because
is
this is
so
what happens,
nice.
right? So normally you ring up the doctor and say, I need to see a doctor, and they're like, we haven't got anything till Thursday week.
Yeah.
They will find a spot for her,
Yeah,
guaranteed.
yeah. Though, to be honest, the
Right?
doctor's office will probably cold call her and say,
Yes.
are you
Do you
sick
need to
today?
come in?
Because I forgot my lunch.
We don't have any morning tea.
So what's some of the things on the menu?
It's mostly, so she makes baklava.
oh, yum.
Yes.
So she takes that all the time, but it's actually got to a point where some of the doctors have started cooking in return for her. So there's a little trade system going on.
That is so good, Ruby.
That is so good and so smart.
And what are the benefits? Like Natalie was saying, they might
Yeah.
like get
They
her in on
find
a
you a
last minute
spot.
appointment.
Yep.
But what is she reaping from this relationship?
Well, I reckon Natalie's spot on. I reckon when she needs an appointment,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
fit her straight in.
Yeah.
Nathan, Nat, and Sean podcast.
So there have been some critics of Glenn Maxwell, who was hospitalised after a big night out in Adelaide. Well done on having a big night out in Adelaide, for starters.
Yes, good on you.
Yeah. It's been offer. 35 now.
They're saying he's 35, act your age. And we're like, wait,
Not your shoe size.
So
Surely
what
you
is the age for going out and having a party?
having a good time.
Let's go to Kevin in Yangebup. Hello, Kevin.
Hello,
Hello, Kevin.
Kev.
Kevin. So, what is your age, Kevin?
48.
All right.
48.
We still go hard, Kevin?
Pretty much, yeah. Once a month, me and my wife go out to Freo, have dinner, go to the pubs, and then go to Metros.
Oh, my God, Kev. Thank God, Kev. Okay.
I go, which chamber do you settle into at Metros?
Oxygen.
Chamber,
Yeah. Remember I had 4 chambers?
Used to. Yeah.
just walking around.
So
Yeah.
Metros, is it still pumping, Kev?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, so when you and your wife, so you're there as a couple and, you've been together for how long?
25 years.
25 years. So what are you doing? Are you like sitting down talking together? Are you at the bar with your heads bobbing? Are you like being open and receptive for
Are you
people to come to talk to you? Do you
cutting
make
it up on the
friends?
dance floor?
How does it play? What happens?
A bit of everything, yeah. Go around, sit at the bar, have a drink,
Yeah.
then go have a dance on the floor,
Yeah.
meet new people, yeah. Yeah, it's good.
That's
All
great,
right,
Kev. Great job.
48.
Well done. Keep it up. Never
Hey,
stop.
Dave, it's hope
Kev.
for us, man.
I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah.
James is in Mount Claremont. Hello.
How you going?
Hey,
Hey,
good
Hey, James. Okay, well, indelicate question, but how old are you, James?
53.
53. Okay, we still going out and having a big one?
Absolutely.
Talk to us.
Absolutely.
Talk to us about your party planner.
Snack at New Year's. Went to snack at New Year's.
Snack. Yes.
Did you?
Now Fringe is on.
Yeah.
Out for a meal, go and see some shows, and out to Connections and all the other nightclubs that are there with mates.
yeah.
We're always out. So over Christmas, we actually did a couple of 36 Harrys.
Oh, my God, James. You're
James.
going hard.
When you say we, who are you going with?
My partner,
Yeah.
Siobhan. So we'll go out. So we came home one night, then we jumped in the pool, had a couple more wines. I looked up and went, what time is it? She said, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. I said, well, okay, we carry on.
Yes, James,
Do you
you're a
have-
machine.
Do you have kids, James?
I've got 3 kids, but they're all grown up.
Oh, brilliant.
Wow.
Oh, my
James,
God, okay.
James, back in the day, do you remember when Redheads was open, that club in Northbridge?
No.
Peter Wilson owned it
So
at some stage.
basically, people would go from Geisha or whatever, wherever they were, and then they would go.
Geisha.
Then they'll go over to Redheads,
Yeah.
and then they would have drinks there, and then people were just buying time at Redheads for the recovery cruise to leave down by the Barrack Street jetty, and then everyone en masse would walk down there, and then that cruise would go till about 1 in the afternoon.
Sounds awful.
Even though we were smiling and said we're having a fun time, truly inside we all wanted to die.
And you nearly did.
And you're doing that at 53
Yeah,
years
good
old.
on you, James. Never
James,
change.
good on you, mate.
So
That's
funny.
too good. All right, we're going to finish off with John from Sterling. Morning, John.
Morning.
Hey, John.
Right,
So,
John.
John, you sound like you're in your 20s. What's your real age?
I was born in 64. I'm 59.
Oh,
Okay, 59.
Hey, John, you're 60 this year. Oh.
Yeah, a couple of months.
Oh, what a hell of a party that's going to
Okay.
be, John. But
All right, how hard do you go on the weekend?
I went out at lunch at 1 o'clock on Friday. I was home by 10:30 that night, but I was on the dance floor at 9:45 at Ocean Ones in Scarborough. I feel sorry for DJs with no one dancing, so I've got to get up and dance.
do you, John?
What a
Yes.
great guy. You're a hero.
I like that.
That's
John.
really nice, isn't
A
it?
hero.
I had 3 young ladies come up, start dancing, and I'm thinking, what's going on here? And it took me 5 minutes to realise one was my niece and her friends laughing at me.
Oh, here
No, it
he is
doesn't
thinking
matter.
these moves are working.
Yes. And then you realise you're related to them.
Yeah, and they got video evidence, so now my whole family know, but at least they know I'm happy.
Yeah, you're having a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and helping DJs.
John, I'm an international dancer, and me and this guy, Tony Godden, one year decided that every time we went to a place earlier that we would get on the dance floor and see if we can get it going. And it works because people are waiting for somebody to make the first move.
I used to be the person that thought my moves were good enough to display them on the podium. I would literally wait for my turn on the podium to get up there and show people how it's done.
Hey, look at this.
And to be honest, I don't think it was done well.
I mean, just the greatest Vic victory that there were no cameras back then, were there? Imagine.
Did you read that article the other day about the younger generation? It's called Hangxiety.
Yes.
And now they don't want to go out and get blind because of the amount of people that will film you and put up on TikTok and social media.
There's too much evidence
Because
of
they're
your
too
behaviour.
worried. Yeah, so it's...
That is not true.
What do you mean?
But it was in an article.
I know. That is not true. They're not worried about that.
They might be.
Holy
there
hell.
might be some.
Oh,
But
well,
they've
a small
coined a
percentage.
snappy term, hangxiety.
Oh,
It's a thing.
hangxiety, yeah,
Hangxiety
yeah,
is a thing, like that
course it
regret the
is.
next day.
Nathan, Nat, and Sean in podcast form.
We're talking about being shamed at the gym. Everybody's having a crack at poor old Hugh Jackman. He massively jacked arms and shoulders.
But
Get ready for Wolverine.
doesn't seem to have scheduled leg day for a while, people are saying. And we're just going, you know what, if you're at the gym, no one should have a go at you about
That's
anything
right.
because you're there and you're doing something good. But gym shame
It's a thing.
Shame.
Jamie is in Spearwood. Good morning, Jamie.
Good morning, guys. How are we?
Good, Jamie.
Did you get shamed at the gym? What happened?
Yeah, unfortunately. So I was starting my weight loss journey, and I was at one of those gyms that had the front-facing windows at the treadmills. You know, so you can
Yes.
see beautiful scenery and all the rest of it. And unfortunately, I was running along and getting a bit into it. These young kids started walking past, and they had a bag of McDonald's in front of them.
Yes.
So they've ended up sitting in front of me for about 15 minutes whilst they finished their McDonald's, taunting me, saying, you know, you can't have this, you can't have this, while I'm on the treadmill.
Oh, those
Sorry,
little
that is
mongrels.
hilarious.
That's terrible.
That's terrible.
Yeah, keep running, McFatty, they're saying.
Yeah, it's literally run, fatty, run, you know. So,
Did it get you running? Because you're running after
it
the
got
back
me
as it was
running,
right
but
in
I
front of you?
couldn't catch him, you know.
Yeah. I know.
It's weird, that, isn't it?
Shame.
Oh, that's
Those
just,
little mongrels.
that's just hurtful.
It is.
It was.
Oh, Jamie,
Okay,
you would have
Jamie.
loved to have
Hey,
throttled
Jamie.
their throats.
How did your fitness journey go? Are you still on it?
No, so I ended up, so I had the gastric sleeve as well, ended up losing 101 kilos.
Oh,
wow.
Jamie,
Congratulations. Yeah.
Yeah, so, it was pretty good. And now I've gotten up a little bit, just get a bit healthier. So,
Oh,
doing
well
pretty
done, buddy.
Good work, mate.
Yeah, that's
You're
awesome.
going to have a great
nice.
2024. Nice one. Let's go to Ryan in Butler. Hi, Ryan.
How are you?
Hey, good, buddy.
Good, Ron.
Did you get shamed at the gym, Ryan?
Yeah, pretty badly.
Okay, good. What happened?
I'm like 6'1", 6'2", you know, and I'm like 70 kilos wringing wet, so I'm going there to try and put a bit of weight on.
Yes.
And I used to ride bikes a lot when I was younger, so I've got they used to call me drumstick, you know, so I've got like big legs sort of thing. And I'm going there and I'm doing squats, you know, trying to work my legs, you know, and don't hate on people that don't do legs, because at least if you don't do your legs, you can pretend that your legs work. If you hurt your arms real bad, you know, like the next day, you know, you can sort of
point.
pretend. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
Yeah,
But I'm doing these squats and I'm doing 45 kilos. I'm thinking I'm good. I'm doing a rest. I'm like, you know, it's hurting real bad, but I'm like, pretend, you know, I'm fine. And this little 4 foot, like, petite, little tiny woman sits there and does 75 kilos and doesn't even look like she's doing anything wrong.
Doesn't
Like,
even.
They're not even straining on iota there,
Why
Ryan.
wasn't she at Fernwood?
Mate, my mate was telling me, and it's a tip, if you want to learn legs, look at women's workouts. If you want to do upper body, do men's.
That is a good
that's
rule.
the way to go.
That's a good rule of
Yeah.
thumb.
Ryan,
Yeah.
That
Ryan, what did you do, Ryan?
I'm looking at women's workouts at the moment. for legs.
This is a podcast of Nathan, Nat, and Sean.
We're discussing whether if one partner is ill, does the other partner stay home to look after them? Inspired by Jordan Usher from the Wildcats, who can't come in today. He was due to be in a little later this morning, but his partner is sick, so he's staying home to look after her.
One thing when I started working here was really difficult in that we had so many kids in a short period of time.
Sure.
And I remember the whole time, there was some horrendous stuff going on at my house for a long
Yes.
period
Well, it
of
sounds
time.
like there was a bit of an orgy there for a minute.
There was some absolutely good times too.
That wasn't the worst of it.
But there was only occasions I thought, oh, this is so bad, I've got to ring our boss.
Yes.
And the boss at the time, and you guys remember how it was.
We were talking
right?
about this morning.
Yeah.
It was so... It was
anti
impossible.
anybody using their
It was
actual sick
impossible.
leave or carer's leave.
To the point where the building was burning down one day and we just
Yes.
moved into another room. None of us could go home and we just carried on. And that was the attitude of the day. So
Yes.
I think things are maybe temporary.
That
they
also
had.
didn't have any children.
But I was
and
talking
so,
to Nat
yeah.
as well. I said, like, the same reign of terror. Well, what happened during that time is you would feel sick. And nowadays, days, they look at sickness in
Yeah,
the
stay
normal way,
home.
which is
Nobody
stay
wants
home
it.
because no one else wants to get sick. But back then, it was like, you're weak.
Yeah.
Come in here.
Yeah.
Stay home if you're
Don't
weak.
let the team down.
But you don't stay home.
Hey, Melanie, hello.
Hey, Mel.
All right, Mel. Now, if you're sick, does your partner stay home?
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
Okay, tell us the story.
12 years ago, I got diagnosed with breast cancer and had to have chemo.
Yeah.
I used to have chemo on a Friday.
Yeah.
He'd come to chemo with me, but then we'd get home that night and he'd be right, I'm going off to the mate's house to watch football.
Are you still married, Melanie?
No.
Okay.
You can't
Mel.
leave
That's probably the right
someone.
outcome.
Mel.
Yes, who is suffering cancer
How
to go
long
and
does-
drink with your mates.
Now, how long does chemo go for?
I had chemo for 6 months and then I had radiation for 6 weeks. And I had 4 surgeries in 1 year.
Because
Wow,
I'm just
Mel.
wondering. I'm just wondering if you're in it, and I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
wondering if you're in it. If he normalises her chemo, like
Yeah.
she's just going to the shops, but it's
After
still
a
at the
while.
court. Yeah, after
Yeah.
a while, but it's still. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not good on paper or
No.
hearing it on the radio.
Thanks, Mel. Jay's in Jane Brook. Hello.
Hello, guys. How are you?
Hey,
All right,
Jay.
Jay. What happens in your relationship? Do you look after one another?
Well, I'll just put it into this perspective. My husband doesn't do hospitals. He doesn't do doctors. He literally has panic attacks. So
He does.
every time I have to go to the doctors or the hospitals, and I've broken a couple of bones, I've had to ask my mother-in-law or drive myself.
Yes.
However, if I get sick, even the slightest sniffle or tell him I have a migraine, he hovers like a blowfly. He does not leave my side, to the case where I actually have held him to leave me alone because he's making me feel worse.
But,
attentive.
but if a bone is sticking out of your leg and you're bleeding, he'll leave you there.
He'll leave me there and just run.
No, he'll look after her while she's there, but he won't take her to hospital.
Do you think that he's hoping that he may get that flu or that?
Oh,
you
he's trying to get it.
and therefore he gets a day off?
No, but the thing is, if he can't get the day off, he'll ring me like 30 times. Are you okay? Have you had enough water? Have you had your Panadol? Do I need to bring anything on the way home? It literally drives me barney, so I have to turn my phone off.
Jay,
So it's not great.
Will you, if you're lying on the couch sick, will he rub your head or something like that?
Yes.
Or- oh.
Yeah.
He is lovely, Jay.
Sean, look at Sean. Have you been sick? Have you been sick and Megan rub your head?
Do you want to make it worse?
Yeah.
We've been married for 26 years and he still does it.
That is fantastic.
God, so many women right
Yes.
now are getting.
Our producer
enraged.
Amy is furious.
Mate,
Furious.
when I'm sick, Megan will. Oh, she doesn't come near me anyway, but she will definitely want me to sleep in another room, and she'll just put on this big
I
show.
thought the
Come
nice
nowhere
thing-
near me,
I-
spray all around me.
I got a bit sick over our break, and I thought that, and I caught myself catching this thought where I thought if I was with someone right now, if I had a partner, I could lie and they could just fill my back until I went to
And
sleep. Because I thought that's
bring
what
you glasses of water and
I thought
things.
that's what
Yeah.
partners did.
Yeah.
But apparently they don't.
No, I do it.
Well,
I do it.
Jay's does.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
well done,
I definitely
Jay.
do it.
Siobhan's in Bedford. Hello.
Hi, how you going?
Great, Siobhan. What happens in your relationship when someone's sick?
So I had to have a shoulder reconstruction. So I had to, my partner just went to work that day. So I Ubered myself to the hospital. I had the reconstruction. And then the next day, his brother came and picked me up from hospital, delivered me home. I was in a massive sling, lots of pain. My partner comes home from work that afternoon, kind of walks in the house. Yep, I'm on the couch. Walks into the kitchen. He's like, "What are we having for dinner?"
Is your partner Sean McManus? Is this Megan?
Siobhan, no.
He looks at me on the couch and he's like, "All right, babe, like, what are we having for dinner?" And I kind of look at him and I'm, drugged up to my eyeballs and I've got ice pack on and I can't really, move much. And I was like, "I don't know, babe. Do you want me to make something for you?" And he's like, "Oh, nah. I should probably do it, shouldn't I?"
Well, Siobhan, look, he probably should, but Siobhan, I like to argue for him. You have been home all day.
Thank you, Nathan. That's really good of you. Hey, let's not forget my time. Every time I have an operation, what happens?
That's true. Nobody. You sit at the
nobody
hospital.
gives a shit.
Who's the last person that offered to pick you up from the hospital? My mum. And they're not married. They just have
Thanks,
sex.
everybody. That's why she's more invested.
Well, I know it's guaranteed at the end she'll stroke my forehead.
Nathan, Nat, and Sean in podcast form.
joined in the studio by Lawrence Mooney, who was just imparting some Buddhist wisdom upon us.
You were actually, Lauren. It's actually lifted the whole room.
Yeah, it has.
Can I impart it?
I think
to
so.
Yes,
Maybe
please.
without the accent.
Without the accent, yeah, because it's a bit of cultural appropriation.
Well, it was an Indian guru who was talking about the Buddha saying, if you've been through something traumatic in your life and you're holding on to hatred, the only person it's injuring is you. And the analogy that he used, no accent, is if you reach into a fire and grab a hot coal and hold it into your hand, you can hold on to that, like holding on to your hatred, but the only person it's injuring is you.
But if you get that same hot coal you got in your hand and throw it at the person you hate, then it becomes a weapon.
Not throw it. You get that person, you drug them in the middle of the night, Dexter style, you tie them down, and you take that hot coal and you stick it where the sun doesn't
You've really
shine.
thought about it, haven't you?
And then that's so much better.
I don't think you have let go of the hatred, Buddha.
Actually, forget the Buddha. Hold on to your vengeance and your violent fantasies, and that'll get you through the day.
Eventually, you might get the chance.
Dexter. But if you do get the Dexter, you crazy psychopath.
We were all rooting for him, weren't we?
Absolutely.
Baddies.
The idea of having your nemesis tied to a gurney and they're looking at you through panicked eyes and you're this is happening. This is going to happen. But before I put you down, I'm going to take your genitals off. Surgically.
And without anaesthetic.
Yeah, that's cool. But it's only because, hold on, Dexter, have you ever heard of innocent to proven guilty, the Westminster system?
No.
Not Dexter.
Yeah, be quiet. Your doodle is my new earring.
Now, Lawrence, you are in town, of course, you're doing your Fringe World show. So what is it, Pigeonhole?
It's called Pigeonhole. It's not in a pigeonhole.
No.
It's called
So you're
Pigeonhole.
putting pigeons where?
So once upon a time, a pigeonhole was that little space in the staff room where you'd get your letters.
Yeah.
Your
We're going through renovations right now, just around near sales as you walk past the thingo. There's the pigeonholes that used to be used for Casanovas, and they have not been used. How long have they not been used? Pricey? Years?
Years.
10 years? Yeah.
So, more than that, because, now it's your email inbox.
We used to just put $20 in there as their weekly pay, and now...
Yeah, and you'd get your little slip, don't return. Please leave your security pass behind. But it's also a way of, categorising people. And we pigeonhole ourselves. We jam ourselves into a little definition, often made by paranoia and nebulous thoughts. And it's all about, setting yourself free. So what I do is I go around and pigeonhole the audience, just purely on their appearance.
Racially stereotyping people.
Absolutely. Guy in the tropical shirt with a comb over, pedophile. No doubt.
So,
prove me wrong.
Look, if that is your leaning, don't wear a tropical shirt.
Your producer just looked at the clock when I said that word. So no tropical shirts before 8:15.
Yeah.
So, okay. So you label someone, and then what happens?
So let me go back a step.
And then he goes home.
It's a whole.
Not just go and insult people and leave. What a great show.
You've labelled someone. And then what happens? Well, the show ends, Nathan.
And everybody goes and has a drink.
And take my box office take.
I run before someone...
I grabbed them out of my pigeonhole.
I return to the Southern Highlands of New South Wales and live the life of Riley.
I hear you have 3 horses.
Nathan, Nat and Shaun is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.